Muy bien. What?
¿Cómo estás?
I'm great.
Okay, well, I was having a very hard time trying to figure this out, but we did it. We did this. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I need right now. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Tia says, yay! Hola, hi guys.
Yay.
Silvia, te ves preciosa, como siempre. Bella. I love it. And your earrings, I think I want to steal them. Yum.
If we're gonna do an interview, we do it right? No?
Exactly, exactly. So, Silvia, my love,
Mwah.
we're everyone is here. We have about 11 people online. Oh, look, BB, hey. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started because we're gonna be recording this interview and we're gonna be putting it on the Creative Hips page anyway. But happy day to you. And Kelly says, bellas las dos. Thank you. I try. I'm outside in my back porch because my son is downstairs watching muñequitos. So, he's at least. Valentina, ¿cómo estás? Hi, Valentina. Aquí tenemos a Silvia Salamanca. Amazing, wonderful, international artist. And she started, I'm going to go ahead and give you a very, very brief interview. But, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you started in 2001,
Yeah,
más o menos, but you've been dancing forever.
correct.
You majored in ballet, ¿verdad?
Correct.
Wow, that's amazing. So you have a ballet background, guys. What? Ballet background, awesome. And we have people clapping. That's very good. And you are from Mallorca, Spain.
Yes.
Yes, okay. And you always had a love for dance, like since you were little. What made you? Were you always into dance? Was that something that was a calling for you from like the moment that you were little? Cuando eras pequeñita ya, enseguida querías bailar.
My
Yes.
will say that I couldn't walk and I was dancing. That
Oh wow.
that 1 year old that hears music and she'd be like
Mm.
walk. And as far as I can remember, dancing.
Yes, you've been dancing.
And I began classes at 5. I began taking ballet and flamenco because Spain, all right? when
Wow.
and I was also the typical girl that if there is la fiesta del barrio, if there is,
La fiesta del barrio. That was you.
you know what I mean, meaning that you have the party of the village and there is a stage where the live band plays, and when they are done, there is always those kids that go to the stage and pretend they are giving a performance.
And that was you. Guilty.
That was me. Being dancing felt amazing from the get-go. It's something that I always wanted to do. At that time, I didn't have the awareness. Children don't have the awareness of what's profoundly moving them to do so and so. But as time went, I realized that I am who I am. I am alive. I navigated towards love and positivity because of dance. Meaning,
Wow.
the way where naturally, previous of any thought, I would process anything. I think it is very much for many natural dancers,
Yes.
when we don't know why, but we move their life. That's what's going on,
Exactly. Yes.
Express, heal if there are things to heal, but if not, celebrate life. It doesn't have to be something that deals with heavy energy. It can be something that celebrates light and positive energy. You do it naturally. And when somebody does that naturally, you cannot take that away from them. They will dance for life. The day
Yes.
dancing is the day they die, you know? And
Yes.
it was so for me.
Yes. I feel like, that dance, especially during this time, can be very, very therapeutic. Very therapeutic, and it's like medicine. It's like therapy. Um, but that brings me to ask you, how have you found inspiration? Okay, because
Mhm.
it's been crazy.
Mm.
How have you found inspiration to stay creative during this tumultuous, difficult period? Has it affected your motivation to dance, or has it been your escape? Has it been your therapy during this time as well?
It has changed my dance life. Um, but for me, when everything, the world came to a stop. Mm?
Right.
And it's
Yes.
okay, no more traveling and performing everywhere, right? Either local,
Right.
I do, or globally, right? In belly dance convention.
Right.
My first thought was city.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Meaning that for me, you're asking me, where do I get inspiration to stay creative? The real
Yes. Where do you find that inspiration to stay creative
for me,
during this time?
it's where I don't find it. meaning that because I already took a turn towards expressing in my dancing or creating dance pieces that were about what I was feeling, one way or another. Imagine I have all the time in the world to be with myself,
Yes.
no escape, to be with myself. So all of that is raw material for dance pieces. All the time that I craved to slow down, be at the studio with myself, and do the things that I was like, oh my God, I have this idea and I have this urge. Yeah, what are we doing today? And you don't have
Right. Because we're so busy. Claro.
for everyday tasks. I I now have the time to just digest, mature the ideas, and surely you don't have oh, this is going to be performed a month from now. You don't have that.
Right.
But for me, that's perfectly okay. It actually releases pressure on having to produce something that maybe I'm not convinced into. I do have the time to finish it all. And
Right.
I, um, there is already pieces on birth, that are coming out.
Nice.
Some of them are very celebratory and positive of the world comes to a stop and I still can feel my body and I still can dance. I said 1,000 million times something. for
Demon.
for the soul, it doesn't matter if you're dancing in front of 3,000 people or if you're dancing in your kitchen. It
That's awesome.
For the soul, it doesn't make a difference. Some of my most profound moments have been in my bathroom, going crazy. And I mean, my mother can be a testimony to that because there was it was a time in my life that was very moving. That and she was then, both of us went just crazy, dancing to a Spanish song in the bathroom. And it was a beautiful experience, and I kept the moves and I kept the song and I kept the inspiration. The ego the ego will tell you otherwise. The ego is going to tell you, oh, no, no, only if you are dancing in a big theater and or everybody in the restaurant is applauding you, only that is valid. But
Right.
soul doesn't think so. And I have to admit that I am extraordinarily lucky and blessed that I don't have to worry about paying bills. That I have been able, I have two jobs as it is. One is dancer and dance teacher. And I went online and I began coaching online, and I began doing classes online, which better, lesser evil and a blessing in disguise.
Right. Oh, yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So a therapist, and that kept going on online. People already had. So I still have a job. I don't have the extra job of the festivals. But as I said, I took that time to be profound on my practice, to everything that
To polish.
and everything that's going on in the world. Use it, use it. And I don't know if I should be saying this, but you know what, I'm gonna. There was a project that Diana Soto, I know you guys know of her.
Yes, Diana Soto. Yes, of course. Mm-hmm.
She moved to Houston in the end of last year, and she and I were in progression on creating a duo that actually it's a full show, not just for belly dance community, but for women's communities and so on. And it's about domestic violence. It's about how women themselves stay trapped into toxicity, into negativity, into a dynamic of abuse, and explore all of those aspects. The journey from
Wow.
I am trapped to I get free and I become an authentic and real human being. And here in Houston there is a huge Latino community.
Okay.
I work with women that experience violence day in and day out, so it's something that was on the back burner, and now it's not on the back burner, it's happening.
Oh, see.
And get
Right.
ready, people, get ready.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I remember seeing a picture with you and Diana, and I felt the picture across the screen. I just felt it, and it was such a powerful picture. That moment that was captured, it was absolutely beautiful. I loved it, and I was like, I wonder what that piece was like, but I'm sure there's more to come.
More to come. It was the beginning of the project, and you can,
Right.
and in that picture she's spreading her arms, and it's
Yes.
to go out. So the grabbing her from the back, because in that piece I'm the shadow, and by the shadow I mean all of these negative beliefs that we have that keep
Mm-hmm.
us imprisoned in
Mm-hmm.
big places.
Right.
No,
Right.
I represent
Yes.
that. And I've been craving to embody that, because boy, do I know about those as well.
Eso va a estar brutal. It's going to be brutal. I love that idea. That's beautiful. Thank you for explaining that, because sometimes you see a picture and I knew it really spoke to me, and I was like, wow, this looks like a really, really intense piece. And now you explained what it was about. So that's fantastic. Now, you said that you're clearly blessed because you don't have to worry about payments because of you've been doing therapy, correct?
Yes.
And balancing it out.
Yes.
Now, when do you have a time that you set aside for your personal practice, or do you just practice when you're motivated to, when no, you have okay. So, okay, yes, explain.
Part of becoming the same that one say, I'm going to meditate every day 5 minutes, because it's good for you.
Right.
I'm going to do yoga 3 times a week, and you set aside that time. It's the same concept. Being in the studio with myself, it's non-negotiable. It happens
Oh,
this day, this day, this day, at this time, and this time, and it's non-negotiable because it's a
okay.
health practice. It happens to
Mm-hmm.
be, it became my profession, and it is my profession, and it happens to be, it will see the light of the day when and how, but
Okay.
without that, we are at the mercy of our mind. What I mean is that if I say I'm going to meditate every day, fuck, I don't feel like meditating today. 3 deep breaths and it's already better because your anxiety is going because you're meditating. And I make it
Okay.
the same thing with dancing. Fuck, I don't feel like doing this today. I drank too much wine yesterday, right? Whatever, you know?
Right. Right. Because that was my next question. I'm like, you have those days when you just don't feel like doing it. So how do you get yourself
You
to get past it and not listen to the little voice that says, I'm just going to stay in bed a little while longer? Like, how do you do that?
does it it's not that it has to be militaristic and strict. You know what I mean? It's not
Mhm.
about that. But
Hi, Sarah Lynn. Sorry, Sarah Lynn is waving. Go ahead.
I, if you go like, if it becomes a practice, of course you're gonna skip a day here and there, but when it becomes a practice, you make it there with what you're feeling. You make it there like, today it's not the day to go, yay, celebration, happy, happy. No, today is not the day to do that kind of dance. Today it's the day to go, I feel heavy. But just because
Hmm.
you're moving, you allow that heaviness to have a space and release it. That's the
I love it.
that's the gift of dancing. That in
I love it.
itself, and I equate it to a meditation practice or an awareness practice. In the practice itself, you release that. Not that if there are problems they will go away, but
Right.
you are not trapped by the mind going on a wheel and the energy making it nowhere. The energy make it out from your fingers, you know,
Right.
out from your head, out from your hands, That's where that negative energy went. So you can,
I love that. I love that you stress that because it's something that I'm sure all of us as dancers or as artists, we feel it because there's so much heaviness going on right now in the world that it's almost impossible to not feel heavy. And I myself, I went through a time, Silvia, where I was like, I'm just not feeling motivated to do anything, and then once I started and I said, okay, that's it. I'm going to make sure that I give it some time, and so I do it early in the morning, and then the rest of the day is it's just so much better. But it has to be first thing for me. It's first thing in the morning. But I'm so thankful that you did share that because it's true. Even when we feel heavy, we can release it through dance.
I
It's beautiful.
I agree, and you call it, the first thing in the morning. It's more or less what I go along for me. I it's the same. And I'll say something that I wanted to say before. You reminded me of it. Uh, Difficult to find motivation. Many of us love, and what's not to love, the audience interaction.
Right.
Going live, being surrounded by people, and yay, the beautiful belly dancer.
Right.
Of course, we love it. And it validates us. Of course, it validates us. Now, the pandemic has forced us to shift the focus. I mean,
Hmm.
if my identity as a dancer, if my value as a dancer was relying heavily on others going, yay, shift it. You are still a dancer, you are still as valuable, as beautiful, as graceful, but now you have to find that validation within yourself, first and foremost. First and foremost. Which is the only authentic place, by the way. I say that my best dances come when I stop to artist, when we stop catering to the audience. Not that it is wrong. I love entertaining people. Don't misunderstand.
Right.
Don't misunderstand.
Yes.
I love entertaining people. But now it's not possible. Here and there, some entertainment is possible, but not to what it was before. You
Right.
Many people cannot go dance in a restaurant once a week.
Right.
I'll go deeper. Go deep,
Go deeper.
deeper.
That's beautiful. You're getting a lot of reactions, Silvia. We have people saying, I love that. Yes. They love what you're saying about that. And I think it's something that definitely needs to be addressed because it does affect all of us. And of course, we love performing. We all love being on a stage. We love, of course, the applause. Of course we do. But you just brought such a beautiful and such an insightful point. It's, it's amazing, but it's true.
Go deeper.
Oh, and Kelly says 100%. She loves what you just said.
And
Very valuable.
absolutely, and if many of us, I bet many of us have experienced that when the applauses went away, when the stage went away, we felt like, oh, this is not so glamorous. But when,
Hmm.
mm, how can I, the go deeper, I repeat on that, if the glamour dies, and with the glamour,
Right,
you know,
right. Hmm.
I think that all of us dance because we love dancing.
Right.
It's come back to that over and over and over. Love dancing because I love moving, because I love dancing. The glamour is great, but it's not the heart of it.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
and I know
So important. Tia says, so important to hear this. I don't know if you can see the comments on your side. Can you see the comments on your side too? Yes, hi. Somebody's waving. Okay. Um, so yes, absolutely. I think she says truth, and somebody says yes, absolutely. Now, uh, but what do you do in particular? Because obviously we're all going to have those days. Yes, we're all going to have those days. But
I do.
when you release that negativity into dance, have you found that when you release that negativity, has any of that, when that has happened, has that evolved into a choreography as well?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I was
Okay.
The luxury of the pandemic, as I said, is that I don't have to do choreography by tomorrow, right? Because I don't know, right?
Right.
If it's a practice, it's me and myself. The heaviest of days, your mind cannot begin to look if this is looking right or wrong, or if I am going somewhere. The move
Hmm.
itself, it's the medicine that you need. In the days that are not so bad, or once you have released it, as you say,
Right.
that can totally take shape. I
Hmm.
song inspires me. It's connecting with that feeling that I am processing with this story. Let's make a piece out of it.
Nice.
So I
Okay.
and it's happening. I maybe 2021, maybe 2022, we'll see them out in the light, but they're
Yes.
you know, and
Good. Okay, wonderful. If anybody has any questions for Silvia while she's here with us, let us know. But yes, we are discussing how she manages to stay inspired and creative through this process, and she's said quite a bit, and I'm super, super thankful to have you with us, Silvia. Have you explored any new hobbies or interests during this time?
I have come back to more meditation.
More,
I have
more meditation?
meditation. Believe it or not, when I mean that for me it was almost a blessing that I was forced to go at home. I was
Hmm.
cooking. I was missing cooking.
I know. I've been baking so much. So you miss cooking?
And I was like, this is the time. And I made all Mallorcan recipes here for the American family costuming. Something that, oh my God, but I never have time. And make new headpieces. So it's not new hobbies, but have the time.
Silvia, do you make all of your costumes? Do you make all of your costumes? That's amazing. Because I was gonna say, you need to give me a workshop because that's costuming is
No,
expensive.
not
But you've done some headpieces.
yes, you know, and
Okay.
that it brings joy to make. You know, for some reason I love making my own headpieces, you know, and with
Nice.
and all of that is like I know what needs to happen, you know, and complain, oh, I don't have time, I don't have time. Well, now you have the time. You know what I mean? This I had
Yes.
three heavy bags of tribal style Gucci, Pakistani, Moroccan, old metal jewelry that were waiting, you know,
They're just waiting. Come on, please do something with me.
over the past 7 years. You know, it's like, oh my God, I'm gonna make a headpiece. There it went. Oh my God, there it went. And now it's like, ha ha. So
So te estás dando you're having a great time making new headpieces.
yes, I'm having a wonderful time, which doesn't mean it's light, huh? I am agreeing. It's not, yay, party, party, party. It's come, turn the side inward, be
Mhm.
yourself, you know. And in the creative cycle, by the way, of all artists, without incubation, there cannot be production. You cannot be produce without incubating, meaning what inspires me. Let me, bueno, hobbies. This is something that I've done.
Claro.
Taken classes
Mhm.
of everything that I could find, from Afro-Caribbean to tango to Persian folklore to things that I am like, I am so bad at all of this. But I don't care. It's about
Claro.
exploring other dances,
Exploring.
exploring,
Right.
playing like a child. That is also part of the creative cycle, because you never know when one hand is going to inspire you to be added to your thing that you're doing in your own universe, you know? And
Absolutely.
you know that goes from not about becoming a master at every single dance form that there is. It's about
Yes, but simply expanding your mind. Right.
teaching it,
Exactly.
you know? So and and yeah, I'm happy to say that I took a renewed vow to take care of myself with the food, and exercise equates dance, you know. But I'm about to be 45 years old, people. Chan chan chan.
Wow, go. You look amazing. And not only that, but it's so important to remain healthy.
You tell me.
Ay, no te escuché. Sorry. Repite, mi amor. ¿Cómo fue?
No, que you have no idea. And at 45, you have to make your body do efforts in order to not lose muscle, you know? If I want to continue dancing and I want to continue strong and healthy. So I began taking modern dance classes again, online, of course, you know.
Oh, nice.
And
Mm-hmm.
boy, I mean, they're not suitable for human consumption, but that's okay.
Sí, sí, no, no.
What they're doing and what I'm doing, cualquier parecido con la realidad es pura coincidencia. Because my body is getting the strengthening that it needs, you know, and I think that it's also something very important. If we intend to continue dancing, from time to time, we need to go out of our arena and take other modalities of movement. It can be yoga, for example.
Right.
You know, it doesn't need to be anything extravagant. To get the body out of the comfort zone and stretch it a little bit the other way. Curious, your hip movements will become better.
Oh my goodness. Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. Just stretching, even just stretching because it's amazing. Like when you don't stretch, the other day I was stretching And I couldn't believe, I'm like, oh my gosh, I really need to stretch. And just stretching, like you said, even if it's just yoga, like you said, absolutely, I agree 100%. That's
That,
amazing.
you know,
See,
yes, yes.
um,
Dígame usted.
a ver.
By the way,
Okay, so quick question. Pero toma, cógelo suave, don't worry. How long have you been, and I want to know, and I think a lot of us want to know, how long did you practice to be able to master sword the way you have?
2 years.
Because
Years.
I mean, people, we can dance with sword, but you take dancing with sword to another level. So, um,
I love,
I'm sure that some people want to know.
I love answering this question. I began dancing with a sword. Let me think. 5 years. 5 years I would do regular sword shows. And by regular sword shows, it means I'm balancing the sword and I'm doing a slow belly dance movements, mayas, undulations, church circles, and the initial thing was because I dance at Renaissance festivals, well, the one in here, and you need that extra ooh for people to stop, watch your show, and give you tips, So
Right.
great for me to do that with the tribal static, the tribal movements, the tribal costumes. I said, great. Then, 5 years into it, something happened around me that was very painful. And the only thing that I could do with what I was feeling was to come to the studio, grab that sword, and to struggle to make a movement harder, 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 harder. What would it be to make those movements depict the struggle, depict the strength, depict I mean, I don't mind sharing it. It was somebody in the family that was dying, actually, of cancer. And that person fought with teeth and claw to her last day. And it was heartbreaking. That
It is.
did not want to go. And there's nothing you can do. Meaning, with the anger that you feel towards God, of course,
Claro.
the only thing that you can do is to channel it somewhere. So, in the beginning, I didn't plan, but I was practicing every day because I was so hungry that I
Right.
moved to do that. And once the first piece of sort with the new crazy movements that I do became a reality, the practice became a consistent practice for 2 years and a half.
Wow. 2 years and a half of consistent practice. Wow. Wow. Okay. Every day.
you know, not for an hour, huh? It was 10 minutes, 15 minutes of do the choreography, but it was a remote fucking day. And sorry for the profanity, but
Wow. Every day.
I figured out something. I performed that piece in a couple of places. It went great. I stopped practicing it so much. I went back. Guess what, people? Sword went to the floor.
No.
Man, it's meant to happen. I would say this to anyone. If you guys think I've never dropped a sword in my life, you're wrong.
Wow.
You're wrong. At the studio, of course, I've done it 1,000,000,000 times, practicing, and I would be bloody in the beginning. Um, and on stage, it has happened, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. One pretty disastrous. The rest, one can tell but me. It's one of these that you
Right. Right.
that you couldn't raise the freaking leg and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, one more time. If I'm having a good day, everything goes well. If my mind is nervous, if I am very nervous, then the performance is going to go bad. I cannot rely on my state of the day. If I practice so much that my body does it without me thinking about it, then I will be consistent. So it was one.
Yeah, that's how it feels. Yeah. If that's what I feel like when I watch you perform, I feel like you could even do it with your eyes closed and you would be perfectly fine. That's how, no, right. I'm sure that, but it's just remarkable
It,
that
it,
you would make it look so easy, and we all know that it's not, that it's
it's
incredibly difficult.
not easy. And Rachel Bryce said to me at one of the conventions, your body knows it. And I thought, thank you, because I know I practice enough. She's right. You know what I mean? I was like, she's right. I know I've been practicing this day in and day out. And one of the times when it was disastrous, let me explain you what happened. That I had a spotlight right here and there. I make it it was beautiful. Make it to the theater, spotlight, and I was like, woo-hoo! So you can really not depend on anything when it's like I insist on the practice of yoga, practice of meditation. When it's done consistently, there is a love that fuels that, that
Claro.
make the body and the muscles go, even if I am like, okay, I cannot see jack shit, hold on, And not that I never make mistakes anymore. I'm not saying that, but they're less, and when I'm
Right.
practicing, everyone can tell. And any professional trained classic musician will tell you the same thing. If they stop doing if they stop doing their thing, everyone will be able to tell. So
Right.
for me, it's not an issue of gruesome. It's an issue of, I insist, of staying rooted in that love, in that self-care, because it's joyful. And the day it's not joyful for me, I'll switch it. I will drop the swords and I will do something else. I
Right.
feel clear. Actually, my last sword piece, all of the ones before have been like strength, struggle, no sé qué. The last one has taken a completely different turn. It's look at this, look what women can do, look how strong they are, look at this goddessy energy. It's very celebratory. The music has
I love it.
music,
I love it.
costume has changed, everything has changed, and it's way much more feminine again. It seems that I finally went healed all that anger that I was talking about, and all that suffering. So I'm like, well, I
I'm
can't
so
make.
I'm so glad that dance has done that for you. That has been therapy and medicine for you through it all, I'm so thankful. Right, so we're running a little bit out of time. So if anybody has any questions for Silvia, please ask away while she sips on her. What are you drinking, Silvita? ¿Qué estás tomando?
A healthy drink. A detox tea with a bunch of proteins and maca and cacao powder and antioxidants, sé qué porras. I quit coffee. I'm so proud. Like,
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I've been trying to do that forever and I'm failing so far. But I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. Maybe replace it with tea. Okay.
Yeah.
If anyone has, I'm gonna do one more. Okay, so one more question. Actually, I'm gonna do two more and then we'll call it a day. All right. What has been the greatest challenge that you've had this past year? The greatest challenge. What would you say it's been? Hi, Gabby. Right, Gabby?
Have the courage to feel everything that I didn't have a space to feel on the last 10 years. Meaning I've dealt with a lot because there was a lot to deal with. There was a lot to deal with. And when the pandemic began, because of everything that I said, uh,
So in,
having time to be with myself.
sorry, one second. Okay.
No, no problem, no
¿Me
problem.
escuchas?
Sí, sí, yo te escucho.
Wait, hold on. I can't hear you now. Hold on.
Hola,
Can you hear? Talk again?
hola, 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 hola. Oh,
Okay, hold on, because now I can't hear you.
no.
Can everybody else hear her? Because I'm having a hard time hearing her now.
Somebody say something. Silvia's talking.
I'm going to tell you one question. It says, I'm so sorry, but it does say how you've answered many of my questions, but who was your first belly dance like fave? Like your first like belly dance artist, I suppose. Can everybody hear her? Okay, great. Let me see if I can.
Beautiful. My first belly dance favorite was actually my first teacher. Not, she's no one that she actually didn't dance in public at the time. And I don't think if she ever did, because she's a Muslim woman, and she would dance with us. She would teach us her dances. But immediately she embodied this energy of the goddess that made beautiful and sacred every single one of us and herself, and embrace our pelvis and embrace our femininity and our sensuality and our sexuality in a sacred and beautiful way, and gave us permission to see ourselves as such, to see ourselves as goddesses. So I remember being so inspired by her energy,
Inspired.
Then later on, when I began, oh my God, there is people doing shows. The one of the biggest impacts, and I would say the biggest impact that I got back in the day was Rachel Bryce. Because coming from Spain, I didn't know what tribal was. I didn't know that there was such a thing. And when I saw her moving the first time, I was like, oh, I want to learn that, you know? Mm, eh, yeah. Alongside with that, Bojenka. Bojenka is something that and,
Claro.
and Suya as well. Gilina. The first wave of what back in the day was the belly dance superstars. I never claimed to be an expert in Arab culture. All right, I cannot. There's one of the reasons why I don't teach Egyptian, Moroccan, or anything like that in any convention. Because how the heck am I gonna do it? I've never been to Egypt. I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I think that part of respecting your art form is knowing what you do not know something. So body,
Right.
I'm your woman. Fusion realm, I'm your woman. Fusion with flamenco, I'm your woman. You know what I mean? I can do all of those things. I can show you what's going on with your body and why you cannot do a movement. Yes, I feel very legitimate. Teaching you a Melaya, no way in hell, Jose. And what, teaching you a Saidi, no. No, because I am still at the student level, not at the master level. I dance many of them, but I don't claim to be neither the expert nor the representative of such culture. So if you see a lack of Arab artists, it is a reality. My view steered towards the fusion ones, and it was Rachel Rice who created that.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I know. I me too. She's out of this world. All right, so there are two questions. One, is there a dance genre that you've always wanted to learn how to dance? And do you have a favorite performance that you always remember? So those two, is there a dance that genre that you've always wanted to learn that you haven't yet? And is there a favorite performance that you have? And then we'll end it with that.
Okay. Genre that I haven't learned yet. Um, yes, classical Indian. I've taken a few
Classical,
classical Indian.
classical Indian.
And
I can't hear you very well. I can hear you, but not very well. So I'm not sure what happened, but that's okay. I heard that classical Indian.
and Bharatyanayam and Kathak. you know, these three dance forms. And I know they're very different from each other, well, given the genre. But this is a bucket list that will happen one day. I don't care when, but I
But
am.
it will.
Paulina Shakti is somebody that, uh, Moraya Chappelle with her incredible Indian fusion, you know,
Yes, Mariah.
and every time that I've seen Indian dances, something in me was like, oh, I want to learn how to do this thing, you know. And I'll do it. I'll do it one day. Classical Indian dancing. It's my bucket list. Favorite performance. Um. Hmm. It is, and it's going to be different of what many people may expect because when the short performances became good, many of them have felt amazing, and they have felt very powerful and humbling at the same time. But my favorite performance is the one that was recorded at Third Coast Tribal 2017, was January 2017, I believe, or 2016. Dear Lord, the fact that I don't remember the year says something about it. And it was 5 days after my late husband passed away. And there is a deep story in there that it's not a secret, but there is no need to drive melodrama here. But I'll say something. The night he passed away, I remember having visits from two friends, and I remember telling them, do not let me not go to Third Coast Tribal. I need to be there and I need to dance, or I will follow this man to the grave. That's how big of an impact I'm having. And the festival was 5 days after. I was like, but it didn't get into my head, how am I going to do this? It was like, I have to go or I'll die. And that performance was, I would say, one of the reasons why I stayed alive. I was able to almost vomit. Not really, because it's not to a single person, but to an entire field of energy. But I released every bit of suffering, pain, shock, disbelief, struggle. It went out. And after I finished, and it was a sacred moment that night. Because I remember that I went onto the stage, and it was the Coast Tribal here in Texas. Everybody knew me. Everybody knew what the heck was going on with me. So you could feel everybody going like, oh God, you know, that moment of silence. And I felt that at that time it was them holding me, not me holding them, you know. It was a reverent moment. It was a reverent moment. And as I say, it felt sacred. It felt all the things. And I remember leaving the stage after and telling to my sister, who was there, I don't know what's wrong. I feel okay. I'm fine. After performing,
Claro.
I was like, wow, hold on, you know. And I've been saying all my life, dance is healing, dance is healing, dance is healing. So it was one of these moments where it was like, well, talk the talk, walk the walk. And I did it because
Oh,
I had no other option. And to the day, I would say it's my most my most remarkable moment.
wow. That's impressive.
There will be more.
Silvia,
Mhm. Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us. Te mando un abrazote bien fuerte, tote.
Yes.
You are such a beautiful person. You're such a beautiful human being. I love your energy. I just can't wait to like actually spend time with you. She's one of our instructors for Tribal Mania Miami this year, guys. She's amazing. You're gonna absolutely love her. So thank you so much for joining us today. And I appreciate everything that you shared with us. Everybody's saying thank you. As you can see, Sarah Lynn is saying so much love, beautiful moment. Thank you for sharing. Diapo 12 says gracias. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your beautiful energy, for everything. It says, are you teaching online?
I am.
Okay, guys. So Silvia Salamanca, make sure you follow her on Instagram. Make sure you follow her. Get on her Facebook. She's teaching online. What days are you teaching online?
So far, right now I have 2 classes a week. One is Tuesdays, one is Thursdays. And I'm preparing for a third one coming in August.
Okay.
And
All right. Mm-hmm.
some pop-up.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Okay. Awesome. Have a great day. Thank you, everyone.